Welcome everybody. My name is Julie Mayhew and I am the dietitian here at Charles City Hy-Vee. Thank you for joining me today for our holiday healthy eating Zoom or webinar that I'm offering today. Give you a little overview of what I'm going to talk about, tips for a heart healthy holiday. I'm going to give you some recipe ideas. Also talk a little bit about Hy-Vee.com, our recipe webpage. It is awesome. And some tips on nutrition fact label reading, because I cannot let an opportunity go by without doing a little general nutrition education when I have your attention. So overview for today. The main focus are going to be these tips: the portion distortion, tricks to prevent overeating, a side of healthy, committing to going outside, and don't forget that dessert. Dessert is served. So let's first start with portion distortion. Think first and foremost, I want you to have all those delicious foods that you savor at the holidays. They'll be on my table also with some modifications in how I prepare them. And portions, that can be a great way to get a little taste of all of your favorites without going crazy. So think about that serving spoon that you put in with each of those foods. And here's a nice visual comparison. When you think about a deck of cards, or I always tell people the palm of your hand without your thumb and your fingers is going to be about 3 ounces of a portion of meat. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. Maybe you're thinking about that gravy that you're going to put on your potatoes. So think about a golf ball being about 1/4 of a cup. Also your cranberry sauce. Think that also could be about 1/4 of a cup serving. Think about the size of a baseball. If you cut that in half, that would be a serving of stuffing or maybe mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes. So just try to think about portions and what you're serving with. How much of your plate is it taking up? Maybe also what size of plate are you using? Do you get out the huge ones or do you scale it back so you have room for dessert? Let's talk about some tricks to prevent overeating. The biggest one is probably slow down. Chew your food thoroughly. Enjoy the company that you're with. This year may be a challenge. Maybe we're going to limit how many people are with us, but really get to enjoy the food that you're eating and who you're eating with, and enjoy every bite. Don't waste your calories on foods that you have every day. Make this your special food day. When you are going, like I said, you're going to have those foods, and I want you to, and I want you to enjoy them. So maybe this is the day you do the pie and the stuffing. Let's talk about a side of healthy. Try subbing out your ingredients for healthier versions. And I found this recipe on Hy-Vee.com that I really like. And let's see if I can pull it up here. Maybe we substitute, instead of a mashed potato, or you offer it also, a squash, really healthy option. Let's see if we can pull it up. And this will show you a little bit of our recipes on Hy-Vee.com. So I really like this recipe because 20-minute prep, right? We have a little description of it there. You can see the directions, all of your ingredients, how many people it's going to serve, how many calories you're going to get per serving. And then I like this too. You're going to get your nutrition facts, which you don't get from a lot of internet websites. And you can trust that these have been calculated to be accurate. So I like that also. All right, let's see if we can go back to where I was in my presentation here. There we go. Some other tricks. Maybe the turkey, you're going to remove the skin, only eat the white meat. Even if you want to cook it with the skin on, just try to remove it before you actually eat it. I know it does kind of hold in some of those juices and in the roasting process and makes it super delicious. Just try not to eat the skin. That's where we're going to get the most of our saturated fat. Maybe you do sweet potatoes and you flavor them with an apple juice or a sprinkle of cinnamon, trying to get away from the added sugars with brown sugar or marshmallows. You do a mashed potato. I love making my mashed potatoes with skim milk and throwing in some roasted garlic. Yum. Stuffing. Try a whole grain bread to make your stuffing, and bake with a sautéed onion and celery. Sneak in some extra vegetables that way. Green beans, maybe you skip the casserole and enjoy a steamed fresh green bean. And I think I have a recipe coming up. It actually has cranberries in it. Maybe for the cranberries, you use a whole cranberry instead of the sauce. Dinner rolls, there's another one where you choose whole wheat or go a high fiber bread. It's going to be a great way to get you some extra fiber too. Pie, again, like I said, I want you to make sure you get your sweet treat or you get your dessert on Thanksgiving or Christmas. Maybe how you cut it. Instead of the typical 8 slices, do 10 slices so that you just get a taste. All right. So now you've eaten, you've taken your time eating, you've slowed down, enjoyed your savory bites, enjoyed your company. Now get some exercise. Try to, and if you can go outside, great. If the weather is going to permit, I hope it does. Maybe you go for a hike or a walk around the block. Build a snowman, put up Christmas lights, play a game outside with the kids. I can tell you we have through Hy-Vee an awesome group called Kids Fit, and they do a fabulous job of offering, oh my gosh, so many different recipes and physical activities you can do outdoors, indoors. I love it because, especially during the pandemic when we are stuck inside more, it's giving you opportunities during the cold weather to be physically active and get your heart rate elevated with your kiddos inside where you're nice and safe, especially if it's cold out. So Kids Fit, that's another great resource. All right, so dessert is served. Let's dive into a little bit more about dessert. Let's talk about pecan pie. If you are going to have that 1/8 of a pecan pie, you're going to get about 500 calories or 30 grams of sugar. So maybe you just choose pumpkin instead. And you're going to get about half the calories, which is kind of a no-brainer there, right? And I also found this pumpkin pistachio bar, which was about 230 calories per serving on our Hy-Vee recipe website. And I forgot to tell you in the beginning also, if you email me, my contact information will be at the end of this presentation. If you email me, I will send you all of the slides so that you don't have to write any of this stuff down either. So, all right, a couple more recipes that I found that I really liked. Healthy Thanksgiving turkey. This one is just a really great basic way to prepare your turkey that's going to be a little more healthful. And then here's the holiday green bean and cranberry that I was talking about earlier also, when you maybe try to get away from the green bean casserole and try to put a little healthier spin on it. So I'll include that also. All right, now this, I want to take a minute to show you, if I can cue it up here, is our Hy-Vee.com. So I showed you a little bit before with the last recipe that I showed you, but I want to give you a little tutorial on using this website. This is such a great free resource, literally www.hyvee.com/recipes. And this will pop up. I use this all the time when I am working. I use it at home also. But when I'm working, I love coming here to the drop-down menu under diet, and I choose dietitian approved. You can see you can choose dairy-free, low-carb, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free. That's on I did a tour on. We just did a gluten-free class recently digitally, and that was super helpful too. Something else I might choose, my family personally at home, we're always looking for healthy snack ideas. And so if you choose snack, now you're going to come up with snacks, dietitian approved. So what's it mean when it's dietitian approved? They're going to be lower in saturated fat. They're going to be more whole grains, so you're going to get more fiber. They're really encouraging more fruits and vegetables and less added sugars. So really great options here. And you can kind of scroll down and see, not all of them have pictures, but I just love it because avocado toast, that's one my kiddos enjoy. For a kids in the kitchen class, we've made monster mouths before, really simple and fun. But you can see all of those dietitian approved snacks. And you can do it for any of those categories. There's also method of cooking, which is handy if you want to do quick or baking or grilling. Slow cooker, that's kind of fun if you want to do some slow cooking. And dish types. So if you're thinking, I want to have pasta tonight or fish. Oh, that's another one I love this website for is the fish and seafood and all the different seasonings you can get creative with. Okay, so let's go back to here. So let's talk a little bit about shopping. When you are in the grocery store, and this is more so not just at the holidays, but I want you to use this year round. This is going to be just some general helpful information for when you are shopping at the grocery store. Be aware, look at your nutrition fact label, find it on the product that you are wanting to buy, and be aware of the serving size. So we talked about that pie. Think about, do I want to cut 8 pieces? Do I want to cut it in 10 pieces? Maybe those pumpkin bars. Do you want to cut them in 2-inch squares, 3-inch squares, 4-inch squares? Be mindful of what the serving size is, how many servings you're getting per container. Calories, that's written out nice and big so you can see that. When you drop down to the fats, I really like to focus in on saturated fat and trans fat. Those are the two that are going to be more detrimental to your heart, and you want to keep an eye on. You want to try to keep those 5% or less. If you look at the right-hand column, that's your percentage of daily value. And if you can keep those 5% or less, that is going to be really helpful for your heart health. Now, when we talk about 20% or greater, you can see I put that there on the bottom left also. That's when you're going to get into what's considered high. So with things like the saturated fat and the added sugars, and sodium, that's another one for blood pressure. We want to keep those closer to the 5%, or if you're comparing two products, just try to choose one that is less when you're looking at those percentages. Those are going to be based on about a 2,000 calorie diet. On the right-hand side there, it does note that only saturated and trans fat are going to be listed. Unsaturated fat then is going to be what is left. So I like this product. It's 8 grams of total fat, but we know that the ones that are more detrimental to our heart, there's only 1 gram of saturated, none of trans. So that means there's 7 grams of an unsaturated fat in this product. And yes, that's still going to provide us with calories, but they're going to be more healthful type of fat to choose. All right. So this gives you a great example when you're comparing two products like I was talking about before. I love our Bolthouse Farms dressings. They're found in our produce aisle, kind of where the salads are. And when you start comparing the two labels, you see their serving size is equivalent, about 2 tablespoons. Calories, you're going to get 45 calories in the Bolthouse versus 110 from the Kraft brand. Sodium, about 260. It looks like, look at the regular one, the Kraft one. It's going to be about 320. So that's going to be 13% of your day versus the Bolthouse, which is about 11%. So they're both still kind of what I would consider, they're not low, they're not high. They're just kind of in that in-between range. But when you're comparing the two of them, you can see that one is a little less than the other one. And you know what? I also tell people, if you're like, Julie, I am going Classic Caesar, you are not going to get me to change. And that's okay too. What can you do? You're then going to think, well, I'm going to have a serving size, which is 2 tablespoons, instead of drowning my poor little lettuce leaves. So they're swimming in dressing, right? That's going to help you. If you are determined you're going to have the Classic Caesar, that's okay too. But then you really need to focus in on how much are you using. All right. Here's some, especially at the holidays, maybe you do have, you're focusing your time on the turkey and the potatoes and your green bean and cranberries. So what is a way that you can save some time? I love that we offer the shortcuts. So when you first walk into our produce department in aisle 1, you'll see them right there on the left-hand side. They are cut, ready to go. If you want to eat them fresh, the fruit salads that we have, I think we have a fruit pizza there right now. It's such a convenient, easy way to grab and get a lot of, look at all those beautiful colors when you're trying to eat multiple colors in your day. Or if you want to just be ready to go when you're grilling, roasting, it's a nice way to have those fresh fruits and vegetables easily ready to go to buy. All right. So that's all I've prepared for you today. I just want to say thank you for joining me. I would love if you have any further questions. I am always available. I usually work Wednesdays, 8 to 4, and then other days like today as needed. But you can always get on, again, our Charles City Hy-Vee webpage, and I have my schedule posted there when I am in the store and available. But you can always drop me an email, and I can get back to you if you want to do a phone where we talk over the phone. We can reach out that way, or if you're comfortable coming into the store, I can meet one-on-one. We can do a free wellness visit, a grocery store tour. Always available for all of that. And I always like to talk about, especially now with everything that's going on with the pandemic, we do offer Hy-Vee aisles online, and any orders over $30 are free. So if you aren't comfortable coming into the store, absolutely do take advantage of that. So I will leave it here with my contact information. And if you do have any questions, please do reach out. Thank you for joining me today. Bye-bye.